My name is Autumn Rolston, and for my investigation of a cybercrime, for my assignment, I chose to do identity theft. This cybercrime has evolved quite a bit throughout the years, starting even in the 90s. It could start out with tax documents or even those credit cards that came as pre-approved online. Cyber criminals could take those and they could activate those cards and someone wouldn't even know. So this started way back in the 90s and has just evolved over recent years through online shopping, especially since that is becoming very popular in today's society, to even people using their cards at a gas station. Different software can be installed, or even cameras can be installed to where someone can get someone's debit card PIN, credit card number, even just by looking over your shoulder. So there's different ways that a cybercrime can be used in something like identity theft. In 1998, the Identity Theft and Assumption Difference Act was created by Congress, and this was created specifically to try and decrease identity theft because around that time it was starting to become more of a problem. Probably not as much now or as it is now, but Congress saw that this was becoming a problem. People could use different people's social security numbers, driver's licenses, address, and with this information, they can create different credit cards, open accounts, and then leave the original victim with all of that debt, and then, of course, ruining their credit as well. Now, this is specifically considered a cybercrime because recently it is becoming more popular for phishing emails, especially malware, Trojan viruses, different ways, fraudulent emails getting sent out, and then someone replies or responds to any of these types and loses their identity per se. The hacker or the criminal will gain their social security number, their driver's license number, their full name. In some cases, even online shopping. Most that I have seen, there are online shopping venues where you have to give the full credit card number, you have to give the security number on the back of your credit card, the expiration date, the full name, your address, and by using that, if a hacker were to hack into that system, they can gain all of your personal information and you wouldn't even know it. And most people don't think it can happen to them. In 2014 specifically, there was $16 billion stolen from 12.7 million people in the United States, specifically just from identity theft. Like I said earlier, identity theft can happen in different ways. It just depends on the preference of the hacker and what they are trying to do. Hypothetically, for my crime, I used a hypothetical situation, and I also found one online about an actual person. But hypothetically, I used Amanda, who was shopping online and input all of her credit card information, and later on noticed that there were charges from different stores and even a different state. And she, in turn, contacted her local authorities, and they, in turn, completed an investigation. In order to complete an investigation, you want to keep your bank statements, any canceled checks, mail receipts, phone bills, confirmation emails, anything that can really be considered a paper trail that can help to identify when the fraudulent accounts started occurring, the fraudulent charges. Investigations begin with a preliminary investigation. There is a continued investigation. Detectives and investigators will obtain financial information. They'll identify additional victims, and then they'll begin their case preparation, which comes with search and seizure of any digital evidence. The preliminary investigation really is just they are preparing their investigation. They're gaining warrants for specific items that they want to search. When they have a subpoena or a warrant, it has to be specified exactly what digital items you want to search. You can't have a laptop under your warrant and then go and find a cell phone or an iPod and decide you want to search that too, because that's not part of your warrant and can end up leading to your case not having any validity. The continued investigation, you're going to obtain financial information. You're going to go through, or they will go through your bank accounts, possibly your bank statements, anything that really the person will give them to help them in the investigation. They might search through a computer, IP addresses, emails, things like that to find out what might have happened. In the Southern District of Florida, there was a woman that was indicted on charges of identity theft under the grounds that she had used somebody's name and had made a fraudulent driver's license, and with that driver's license, she withdrew more than $13,000 from that victim's bank account, and ended up also getting 5 credit cards from various department stores, and those credit cards ended up getting at least up to $4,000 acquired on those cards, and the victim was left to end up paying for that. Her credit score could have been severely damaged. There was a lot that could have gone wrong with that. This kind of crime, like I said earlier, it's ever changing. It is changing every single day. Technology gets updates to its security. There's just different things with technology that change every single day, and because of this, investigators need to be kept up to date on these updates. They need to be kept up to date on any changes to software that could occur and could also affect their investigation, and potentially, know what kinds of programs are out there that hackers could use in order to try and hide their tracks. They would want specifically a subpoena or a warrant in order to search and seize the digital evidence that they will need to look at. And while they are gathering this evidence, they also want to make sure that they aren't opening any files or even searching through right at the scene, because these can be changed. In earlier days of technology, this wasn't as big of an issue because the processing systems were so slow that the date and the time wouldn't necessarily be changed. But these days, with the hard drives being faster, as soon as you open a file, it changes the date and the time, and this can also tamper with evidence, even if the detective doesn't want it to. As I said earlier, it is considered a cybercrime more nowadays than it might have been in the past, because of the fact that people are shopping online more. They are paying their credit card bills online. They're renewing their driver's licenses online. They're applying for jobs online. And all of these in itself could give hackers access to their social security number, their birth date, their addresses, whether it be their mailing address, their home address, their business address, anything like that. You're getting their full name. You're getting your social security number. You're getting bank information, credit card numbers, routing numbers. And all a hacker really needs is to break into the system, and they have access to all of that. It is a pretty broad type of cybercrime, because there is so much that can be done with even just a name and an address. And it's because of this that people need to be aware of what information they're putting online. If they don't need to put their social security number in, don't. It's very, very important to remember that your personal safety in turn kind of goes along with cybersecurity, because when you're keeping your personal information secure, you're keeping your bank account secure, your credit score secure. and various things like that. And with this, investigators can also know what kind of information you put online if something like this should happen. And they could be able to use your computer or information from your bank to kind of trace back an IP address, or really anything that, like I said earlier, could leave a paper trail to help with finding the cyber criminal per se.